But keep that intro though.
They told me I couldn't, I shouldn't.
They told me I couldn't, I shouldn't.
They told me I couldn't, I shouldn't. They told me I couldn't. They told me I They told me I couldn't, I shouldn't.
They told me I couldn't, I shouldn't.
They told me I couldn't, I shouldn't. They told me I couldn't, I shouldn't. Facts. If I knew that my life could have been felt good, I'd been the first one getting dipped. Back in the day, I was wild, ain't nobody Bible. I don't even know how to build. Look at me now, I'm a servant of God, and for every good work, I'm thoroughly equipped. Look at me now, man, I'm trying to get closer to God each day, but I still do slip. Ain't say I was perfect, gave up a life full of sin, but as long as I end up in heaven, I'll say that it's worth it. Fighting a battle within, trying to find myself, but I know that I'm serving a purpose. Take every loss.
I need a little adversity, man. I've been, wearing these hats. I've been practice jerseys during practice time, Lou. I've been wearing these hats. I've been eating. I've been up. Give me a little adversity.
So that takes me to my next question. Is since you've got some adversity now, who do you see as the biggest threat to your title in this division?
The Commanders.
Wow.
Welcome back to the PSN Commanders Network. Your boy Tonka A Tech. I am back on a review of I Get to Glory to God. Podcasts right now, God to open doors and pay way for people in the laws and permits. In today's video, you guys, a quick NFC East preview for the 2026 NFL season and give you guys, key departures, key arrivals for each team. And one thing that I'm looking forward to see from each team, I won't get like record predictions, anything like that in this video. I think it's too early. We're in June, guys. I'm not about to be dropping record prediction videos in June. I think it's a little ridiculous, right? But I will say where I think each team is, like where they are in. All right, the top dog, are they a fringe playoff team? Are they a team that's a year away? We'll talk about that. Quick verse of the quick song of the day. It's a guy called Rider for Christ. He's a Christian rapper. And he has a song called Trying to Get Weaker. It's on how he's trying to get his flesh weaker and his spirit stronger. So you can go check that out on Apple Music or anywhere you get your music from, Spotify, whatever. Go check out Rider for Christ. So Rider, the number 4 Christ. And it's called songs called Trying to Get Weaker. Let's get right into today's video. Let's start with the NFC East champions from the 2025 season, and the first team to repeat as NFC East champions for the first time since 2004, and they've done it now 3 years in a row. I think they've done it 3 years in a row. They've done it. Okay, so it's back to back. So it's 2 years in a row. Okay, so Dallas won in 2023. Okay, cool. Chris Swarm. No, I'm tripping because Philly had to collapse in 2023. Yeah, so it's 2 years in a row. Back-to-back NFC East champion, Philadelphia Eagles. That's the first team we're going to talk about here. So, key departures. Saw a couple of those. Start key departures. And we'll get the key arrivals and why I think the team is at right now. So I think I'll say what team is top dog, what team is number 1 contender, what team that probably should make the playoffs, and then the one team that is a year away. So, well, we probably know what the Eagles are, right? But key departure, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is the number 1 key departure, number 1 wide receiver, was traded to the New England Patriots about a week and a half ago. There was no surprises. There was time for AJ and the Eagles to split, and the Eagles did the correct thing, trading him away. They got a first-round pick out of it and a 5th-round pick in the 2027 NFL draft. They got a 2028 first-round pick in return for the star wide receiver there in A.J. Brown. But they were preparing for life after A.J. They picked up Hollywood Brown. They traded for Dontavian Wicks. Also, they picked up Mekhi Lemon with the 20th pick overall, traded 3 spots to go draft Mekhi Lemon out of USC. And also, they had Smitty, who's already a number 1 wide receiver in his own right, I believe. So they were already preparing for life after Arthur Juan Brown. So that was what it was. Wish Mr. AJ Number, the best in New England. I'm glad I'm my division. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Let's go ahead and talk about the other key departure, Jalen Phillips. They did lose him to the Carolina Panthers on a 4-year, $120 million contract extension, contract agreement with the Carolina Panthers. And that's a big loss. I think that Jalen Phillips was playing very well for the Eagles. The sack numbers weren't crazy, but he was creating a bunch of pressure. And that's something that they are probably going to miss, or they were going to miss at first, until now, that changed pretty quickly because, they did trade for Jonathan Gennard. But we'll talk about the arrivals in a bit. But Jalen Phillips was another key departure, I believe. And Reed Blankenship was another big one as well. Reed Blankenship, the starting safety, did leave the Eagles to go to the Texans on a 3-year, $21 million contract, I believe, or $24 million, something like that. I think it's $21 million. But those are the 3 major departures. So AJ Brown, Jalen Phillips, and also Reed Blankenship. Now, with the key arrivals, Mekhi Lemon in the first round, right? That's a key arrival. Tyreek Woolen, now a Philadelphia Eagle after leaving the Seattle Seahawks. He's on a 1-year, up to $15 million contract to play for the Eagles this year on a 1-year deal. We'll see how it goes for Reek Woolen, if he does play well, if he gets extended or not. I think that really finished up their cornerback trio now because they didn't have another outside guy next to Quinyon Mitchell who could play well. Now they do have that in Tyreek Woolen. And also, they traded for Jonathan Gennard. And they did pick up Eli Stowers. So those are my 4 key arrivals. I'll start with the Jonathan Gennard trade. Jonathan Gennard is a dog, and he is now a Philadelphia Pigeon, as they did trade for him in the middle of day 2 of the 2026 NFL draft. And Jonathan Gennard is a very, very interesting player. He played it very, very well. The last couple years, he had an injury this past season, I believe, which kind of definitely decreases production. But he was pretty good for most of his career so far. So he did play 12 games last year. Started his games played 12. Total tackles 38, 19 solo tackles, 19 assisted. 3 sacks, so way lower sack number than in previous years. In 2024, he played 17 games, had 21 more tackles, and 21 more solo tackles as well, and 12 sacks. The year before that, he had 12.5 sacks with the Houston Texans, which made him get the contract with the Minnesota Vikings. Jonathan Gennard is a really good pass rusher, though. Don't get it twisted. Don't get on that 2025 fool you. He's a very good pass rusher, and he's going to bring a nice bit of production to Philadelphia at the pass rush department. So that's a very good pickup. Shout out to Jonathan Gennard. Mekhi Lemon in the first round pick, 1,000, almost 400 yards last year with the USC Trojans. Very good contest catch guy. Wins with route running, but also can make the really tough in traffic catches. Good in the red zone. Great hands. Very, very strong guy for his size at 5'11". Mekhi Lemon is a dog. He's a dog. And he's going to be a tough cover in the National Football League level for a lot of corners, especially going to play the slot. Going to definitely be a problem. And then Reek Woolen, dog. I mean, he's a really good corner. He had his moments where he struggled last year in Seattle, though, so keep that in mind. But he's overall a really good corner, and I do think he will be a huge addition to that secondary. And then the other one was Eli Stowers. I think he'll be the tight end one for the future of the Philadelphia Eagles after Dallas Goedert either hangs it up or is no longer a Philadelphia Eagle. And he's going to be huge for them. He's the most athletic tight end in that room, and he's going to make a lot of plays. You can flex him out and do some really creative things with him. So that passing game for the Philadelphia Eagles is going to get very interesting with the new wide receiver additions, with the departure of A.J. Brown, but also the additions to the tight end room as well. Right now, I have the Eagles as top dog. They're top dog until someone knocks them off, right? They're top dog right now. That's how I feel about the Philadelphia Eagles as of today, June 14th of 2026. So that's how I feel about the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, shout out to Laura Brunson and Louis T. They had a discussion on the Louis T Network talking about, the NFC East, but really particularly the Commanders and the Eagles for 55 minutes to an hour. And I put the clip in where I'm told who's the number one contender, and that is the Washington Commanders. Let's get to the Washington Commanders now. The Washington Commanders had a couple of key departures, but had a lot more key arrivals. Some of the departures real quick. Jacob Martin, a pass rusher, he had 4.5 sacks last year for the Commanders. He left for the Tennessee Titans through on a 1-year deal. Von Miller is still a free agent. He's a key departure. He had 9 sacks, led the team in sacks last season. Zach Ertz had 504 receiving yards last year for the Commanders. He is currently a NFL free agent, come off an ACL tear at 35 years old. I would surmise that Zach Ertz has played his last NFL down, but we will see. Deebo Samuel has 700 yards to lead the Commanders in receiving last year. He is also currently a free agent as well. So those are key departures. I'll get the key arrivals real quick. Chig Okonkwo, the former Tennessee Titans tight end, is now back in the DMV. He played at the University of Maryland, so he played at College Park. He's very familiar with the area, and he's back here on a 3-year, $27 million contract. He had a career-high 56 catches for 560 yards last year, averaging 10 yards per catch and also 2 touchdowns. Chig Okonkwo was a dog. He's so athletic. His hands are good. He's great after the catch. He catches passes in traffic. He does all the things that a borderline elite tight end would do. And I think he's going to get to that elite status here because of the improved quarterback play. I think that the fit of the offense with David Blau and the ability to get yards after the catch that Zach Ertz wasn't able to do. Zach Ertz was like a top 15 tight end with Jaden Daniels. So, or at least top 20 tight end. I remember, I think it's a top 15 tight end in 2024 with JD. So, if Zach Ertz can do that at 34 years old at the time, and not literally the athlete that Chig is, what do you think Chig is capable of, right? So that's the number one. That's my one key arrival. Number 2, Nick Cross, another former AFC South player, leaving the Indianapolis Colts, also played at the University of Maryland, but is also from the area. He's also from the area as well. Also from the DMV area, played at Maryland, was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts 4 years ago. Now he's here with the Commanders now. And Nick Cross is the best box safety in football. I also had some more versatility that I didn't know about. Yes, he could play free safety as well, and actually at a very decently high level. So I have some versatility, but he is the best box safety in football by far. Next, another key arrival here. With the 7th pick in the 2026 NFL draft, the Washington Commanders did draft linebacker Sonny Styles with that 7th pick. Very athletic linebacker. He's like a creative player. Good coverage linebacker. Not the best at diagnosing run plays. I mean, something we need to work on, but he's a mold of clay that you can turn into an absolute monster. Like, he has some good skill sets to him already. He has some key things he definitely needs to work on, though, if he wants to be a successful national public level. He doesn't fix those things, he won't be as successful as we like him to be. But he has the archetype. He has like the athleticism. He has the mental makeup too. Like, he's a pretty hard worker as well. And he will be surrounded by good coaches. So we'll see how things go for Sonny Styles. And my second, my last pick arrival for the Commanders is Antonio Williams, the 71st pick overall in the 2026 NFL draft. Antonio Williams was looking like the wide receiver 1 going into the 2025 NFL season for the draft of this past draft, but unfortunately he got injured with a hamstring. Played through the ham. He didn't play as well. Clemson stunk up the joint. They were terrible. A lot of guys like Peter Woods and The other guy lost a lot of draft stock, and TJ Parker, guys like that, and Antonio Williams definitely was suffering. Columbus, the quarterback that got, bad first name, but the guy that drafted by the Jets, the quarterback, Clemson quarterback, did not play well either. So it sucks that all those guys had to suffer because of a guy that couldn't throw the football. But none of my business. So his loss, our gain in that case, I guess. But yeah, Antonio Williams is a dog. He's a great route runner. He remind me a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown in a lot of ways. Not necessarily he's going to be Amon-Ra, but he mimics his game because of the way he runs routes, the way he gets open. The catch rate is a very high catch rate for a size of 6 feet. They say 5'11", but he's like 6 feet, 6 foot, maybe 6 foot and 2/4, 6 foot and a half. But yeah, Antonio Williams is a really good wide receiver, and I think he's going to be a huge, intricate part to the Commanders' offense. Why do I have the Commanders as my number one contender? Jaden Daniels. He's the best quarterback in the division. I think the second best quarterback in the conference behind Matthew Stafford. You could argue, or third. If you want to say Dak is better, sure, maybe. That's at lowest he's third in the conference. I said what I said. Argue with your man. So yeah, I just think that Jaden's going to be phenomenal this year, and this will allow the team to flourish. I think the team had a bunch of health issues last year. Coaching wasn't the best. Both coordinators definitely failed in some ways. More so Joe Witt Jr. than Cliff Kingsbury, but Cliff Kingsbury did have his faults. Did not do well on short weeks, game planning, things of that nature. They switched coordinators. I think both coordinators will be upgraded than the coordinators they had before. We're going to more of a pro-style West Coast offense. I think that would really help Jaden Daniels' in his development and things of that nature as well. So I have the Washington Commanders my number one contender. Now, Dallas Cowboys. Key departures. I don't think they had any big ones. I'll say Fowler, maybe? Guess. I think there was no one important on offense. It kept Javonte Williams. Kept George Pickens. Still have CD. Yeah, that's a key departure. Guess it's Dante Fowler. Yeah. Trayvon Diggs. They cut him. Yeah. That's what it's about it. Trayvon Diggs and so yeah, they trade Osa Digizu away as well. So now those are key departures, right? Key arrivals. Now they did a lot of good things. Drafting Killer down. Like that he's oh gosh, I can't believe the Cowboy want to grow up. I want to puke. This sounds disgusting to say out my mouth. Caleb Downs is a dog though. He's going to be a dog for them. Also, I would say another key rival is Malachi Lawrence as well. He's going to be a really good pass rusher for them. And the comments with Donovan Ezaraku, none of the guys they have. At Rashawn Gary, another key arrival as well. So they have some pass rushers now to go get the passer, which is good. And also Rashawn Gary can go inside and go rush from interior defensive tackle position if need be. So we're big key arrivals. How are the biggest key ones? They didn't really do anything in free agency, so this is what the team like. I think the Cowboys are a wild card playoff. I think 3 teams come out the NFC East this year. I think the NFC East is going to be pretty good. And I think they division like the NFC West are going to be up each other a lot, which will probably need like 1 or 2 teams for their division. And then also teams like in the NFC North is disgusting tough. So maybe only 1 team come out that division. So and we know only 1 team come out the NFC South. We don't have to waste our time. So I do think the Cowboys are a French playoff team. Quinn Williams will have a full offseason and full season with them. I think he'll be very impactful. Also, the fact that they have guys like Caleb down on defense, we think their defense should be improved. Their offense is already insane. The only thing I had the Cowboys is I don't know if I can really trust Brian Schottenheimer. If I could trust Shotty completely for a 17-week season. And also just the consistency of the team sometimes. Sometimes the Cowboys can be a little inconsistent, either on offense or defense, but more so defensively than offensively. But yeah, that's the only thing is consistency and coaching that kind of made me a little trepid about the Cowboys. But the Cowboys are very talented. And we'll see how it goes, but I do think they should. They did trade Dexter Lawrence away to the Cincinnati Bengals for the 10th pick overall. They did pick up it's just the biggest departure for them. They did lose Wanda Robinson as well to the Tennessee Titans with his former OC and head coach in Brian Daboll, and former head coach in Brian Daboll. And then those were the biggest departures. I'm gonna have a couple of questions about the Giants too that I really want to talk about. So I'm going a little bit more in depth with New York. I think they're the team that's a year away, and also the most overrated team in this whole division. I'm gonna get to why I think they're overrated, but back to the point. I have like a really in-depth Giants video on the Protest Sports NFL Network. You have to subscribe to that already. But yeah, the New York Giants to me are a year away because they're young. They have a brand new coaching staff coming in. I don't think Jackson Dart is good as people think he is. I do think he could be a really solid NFL starter, but I don't think he's locked in like he should be. He's out here doing stuff with Trump, and he's outside every weekend partying. He's not locked in. He's not doing what JD doing. The real JD, by the way, JD Daniels. He's not doing what JD5 doing. And don't ever call him JD6 again. Wild turkeys. Number one. So that's the one thing I want to bring up. Key arrivals though for the Giants, right? Arvell Reese, Francis Malinoa, Darnell Mooney, Isaiah Likely. So their roster is improved overall, but it did lose Dexter Lawrence. That is going to hurt. I don't care what you say. Dexter Lawrence is the best interior defensive tackle in the National Football League. You had to ship him off because you didn't want to pay him. So yes, that's going to hurt. That D line is not going to hit the same. You had to double team. Dexy. Now I can take Brian Burns away now. And he's some good offensive lines in the division. Cowboys offensive lines, nothing to sneeze at. The Philadelphia Eagles lines, one of the top 5 best offensive lines in football. And the Commanders aren't that far off. So I don't think this vaunted pass rush is going to really be impactful in these 6 games that you got to play against the Commanders, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. I don't think this team is going to be this fringe playoff team they think they're going to be. I think this team's a year away. They're going to win 6 games. They might go 7-10. They're a year away. And Malik Neighbors don't look healthy. And I don't think he'll look fully healthy come in September either. You saw y'all saw him in that celebrity baseball, softball, whatever game it was. He was running very gingerly, jogging very gingerly on that knee. He had to get another cleanup surgery on it already too. If I was Neighbors, I'm not scared to talk. Cam Scatterboo, cool. Isaiah Likely is a good tight end. Very good tight end, actually. He doesn't put fear in. You know what I mean? He's good. I think he'll eat. He's good. But didn't install any fear in him. Darnell Mooney's solid. Malachi Fields could be good. They don't scare me. They don't scare me. The one guy scared me is Uno. Because Uno can get vertical. Uno can run a slant to the crib. Uno's a problem. And if Uno ain't right, this offense ain't right. I believe Uno makes Jackson Dart right in a lot of ways. And he get to play with him a lot last year, which sucks, but yeah. I'm not scared of Darius Slayton. I'm scared of boys. And you lost Maxie Daxie. I'm not scared of the Giants, man. Giants are overrated. They're going to do it for their video. So, Giants are a year away. Eagles is top dog. Commanders are the number one contender. If it finally be the Cowboys are a potential wild card team. Don't forget to video, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button, like button, share button. I'll catch y'all next one, man. Peace.